everyone. Welcome to the No Bull Podcast, or welcome back to the No Bull Podcast. I am your host, Brianna Bull, and I am bringing you everything basketball. All right, so we have a full docket today. I really don't want to waste too much time on this intro. All I can say is the league is plagued with injuries, and your host, Brianna, Bull, is a little plagued with an injury myself. My eye is really red. And I was like, I scheduled this stream and my eye's been kind of crazy. I've been feeling a little crazy today, but I was like, I have to show up today because I scheduled this. I planned this, and there's a lot to catch up. There's only one game on tonight for the WNBA, but I've been getting notification pings all day. There's like a lot of things happening, going on in the league right now. And if you tune into my podcast all this week, I've pretty much been on top of it with the latest news. Today specifically, there was breaking news surrounding Caitlin Clark, and so we will talk about that. And last night we had Angel Reese return, so obviously we're going to talk about that. Shout out to the Angel Reese fans that die hard for her and will come for my neck. I hope you're here. I hope you're in the chat so we can continue these Angel Reese conversations. I really love hearing everyone's perspective, no matter how crazy y'all get with it. But yeah, I'm just glad to be here. If you don't see, I am on my road to 500 subscribers. 500 is going to put me at that eligibility if I can add on watch time. So it just puts me closer to being eligible, to monetize this channel, eventually get members, do super chats, the whole 9 yards. I'm grateful regardless of how many subscribers I have. I feel privileged. I feel honored to be in this space talking basketball and being received so well as I've been received by all of you. And yeah, I already see some stuff happening in the chat. And JT, welcome JT. JT said, what happened to my dream? And that's like, last night was very odd space for us, and it took a lot of L's in the W community, honestly. But there was also some wins that we could celebrate. And I'm not just talking about games and teams. We're talking about injuries and people, and just it's a lot to unpack. And then there's going to be we're going to wrap up with the NBA. I have gone so many I cover both, don't get me wrong, but because we're wrapping up the season of the WNBA, my focus has been obviously on the W, but the NBA is very near and dear to my heart, and I actually started this podcast originally to talk about the NBA. So I was like, let me throw in some NBA tonight, and we are going to talk about the Warriors offseason, because I think it's not about all the moves that they've made. It's about the lack of moves, and I'm genuinely concerned for them coming up here this season. So without further ado, let's get into it. Just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. Let's get it. All right. First thing is Angel Reese. All right. She has returned. She has returned out of nowhere. We saw she's at practice on Monday, and she was restricted minute-wise yesterday. And despite her minute restriction, I think she played 26 minutes. She showed up. And it wasn't just about her stats. I want to talk about just her showing up. I really do want to celebrate that, because her return last night said a whole lot, about how we should see her. Because if you've seen my stream a couple days ago or whenever it was, I said, is Angel Reese injured? Is she hurt, or is she holding out? And I was one of those people that was like, shorty holding out. And it was based on just how Tyler Marsh was in the media, based on the vagueness of her injury, the longevity of her absence, and even the current state of the Chicago Sky team, and also what happened last year, her season-ending injury when the Chicago Sky were in the same position win and loss wise that they are this year. So it was a lot. And then also just all the attention that she garners in the media, and it's usually negative. So like I said, I'll be honest, I had my doubts. When you miss that many games with a back issue, no clear timetable, whispers obviously start. And was she holding out? Was it more than just an injury? And of course, the media wasted no time painting that picture, me included. And that's the thing about being Angel Reese. Every mistake, every absence, every expression on your face, it's under a microscope, and it's like magnitude, like magnet. I don't even know the word. I'm trying to look. I was like, it's magnified. There it is. But last night she shut a lot of that noise down. She came back and she put her stamp on the game, and I think she reminded everybody exactly what she came to do, which was what I was hoping for. I want every player in the WNBA to show up and really just hoop. Like, despite all the noise, despite the payment and all that, like, to really show up for basketball. I get it's a job and you want to be compensated and your value matched, and or there's media here and media, but just hoop, man, just hoop. You know, I didn't go as far as I did because I didn't have that mentality of just hooping. And this is the type of Angel Reese I want to see. Shorty just giving effort, fighting. Like, I enjoy watching her for that. I just love seeing that she proved everybody wrong. She's resilient. She's gonna finish the season out. So here's where I stand. More specifically about Angel Reese and her fans and the critique of her game. Why is it that the Angel Reese fans take a critique to her game as hate? It doesn't make sense to me. It really, I think that I said, it's like not every turnover or every missed defensive rotation is a vendetta if we point it out, okay? It's just not. Sometimes it's just a part of the growth process. And honestly, that should be exciting and celebrated. Not every time I say something about Angel Reese and I say, oh, well, is it possible that one person's a more complete player? All of a sudden I'm hating on her. No, I'm just analyzing what I see. She has a lot of growth to do. A ton of growth. You know, but what we see is raw talent still maturing. It's only her second year in the league. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of maturing to do. So us talking about it shouldn't be automatically taken as an attack on Shorty, okay? It's just not. And I don't think she's going to fully bloom if she continues to operate in the Chicago Sky system. I think she needs to get away from Tyler Marsh, or Tyler Marsh needs to get away from her. I've said that. I'll continue to say it. Get away. But I think there's a solid foundation there, and she really does make a difference on the court with her team. And I'm excited to see her grow, but I'm not going to stop critiquing what I see. It's just not going to happen. So all that to say about that, at the end of the day, her comeback performance wasn't perfect by any means, but it was really cool. She pulled 19 points and 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 turnovers. However, those turnovers, I will say, were not all her fault. And her minute restriction, I think the way they were rotating, I would like to see her and Camilla on the court more together at the same time. And I didn't see that with that rotation there by Tyler Marsh. Again, another questionable move by him. Let me see what the chat's saying. King Lion Crown, welcome to the chat, said, how are you doing today? Listen, you said you're happy to support me. I appreciate you. I'm going through it. I'm DTD, but I still showed up today. JG said you'll be at 5K subscribers by year end. You know that ball. I appreciate you for manifesting that. I hope so. But yeah, let's talk about Angel. So King Lion Crown said Angel Reese continues to dominate and prove the haters wrong. Yeah, she's very dominant. I still think there's a lot of areas of her game that she needs to improve, specifically how she finishes. You see what I'm saying? It's still a little sloppy. And in her passing, I like that she has those finds. Sometimes it's a little sloppy, but that's normal for where she's at right now. And I'm excited to see her grow. I think it's only up from here. And then also, one thing else I noticed is just, I think with the Chicago Sky offense in general, it's way congested. It's just, and then I think Tyler Marsh sets up his bigs to fail sometimes, and they get called for these petty screen calls, offensive screen fouls, because of the way he has their circle offense, and I just don't like it. I really don't like the Chicago Sky system at all. But I love that she's proven the haters wrong here. I really do. I genuinely do. You know, I don't want to see anybody fail or fall, but I'm not going to not be honest about it. I'm not going to be delusional. Like, come on. What are we really here for? But the main question I have is, does Angel Reese's comeback silence the critics or fuel the fire even more? I'm kind of curious to see what people are going to say about her return, because nobody's ever truly satisfied. You could not come back, they're going to talk. You could come back, they're going to talk. So I am on the lookout and watching what will be said about her return, and then also just to see how she finished the rest of the season out. I think there's about 10 to 12 games left for everyone, and I'm very curious to see. She didn't get a double-double, but I don't have any doubts that she could possibly get a double-double this next game here. Let's look and see who they play. I have it pulled up. Again, I don't have my contacts in. Down bad right now. So if you see me squinting, it's because I can see barely. Okay, Chicago Sky. Tomorrow they play the New York Liberty. Then they play the Connecticut Sun, the Aces, Mercury, Storm again, and the Connecticut Sun. So I would say they have a tough schedule coming up here. And this Connecticut Sun team, with this trade with Aaliyah Edwards, they just kind of have shown a lot of growth towards this end of the season, a little spark of hope. And there are also just a lot of talks going on with that team and franchise overall. So I don't know if their sale talks have any impact on how the women's been playing, but I do know that it seems to be like a rival matchup between the Sun and the Sky, since they both are at the bottom of the Eastern Conference and they suck. So they're like, who's going to be the best out of the two that suck the most, you know? So pause, that's crazy. But you know what I mean? Like, that's the vibe it gives. So them having 2 games coming up here, it should be fun. But to finish out August, to play the Liberty, the Mercury, and the Aces, and the Storm, all of those teams have something to prove. So it's going to be a huge battle, and I'm so excited to see how Angel matches up. Now, she was guarding NECA, and there was sometimes she was guarding Dominique Maglona. How do I say it? I don't know. Anyway, she got this really tough block on Dominique. I thought it was so tough. And then she struggled a little bit guarding NECA. But NECA is a vet. She has this like turn away fade. It's really hard to guard her when she gets in her bag like that. But there also were times that Dominique struggled against Angel. And if you were to play them one-on-one, I think it would be like a really good matchup with the two. So it was fun to watch them two battle it out for sure. But of course, the Seattle Storm did come out on top, securing their 18th win, and they snapped their losing streak again, and they are currently on a 1-game winning streak. Let's see how long that Seattle Storm team can keep it up. But for the most part, like I said, I enjoyed watching Angel play yesterday. I enjoyed her come back at the haters. Let's see what the chat is saying. Hey Drizzy, welcome to the chat, man. Hopefully we can get a collab going soon. I was hoping you joined this channel, this stream today, and I was hoping you joined the conversation. So you're here. You said Angel was great. Dominique Malonga, thank you. I be butchering y'all names. I'm so sorry. Scotty Boy 36, welcome to the chat, my boy. Glad to see you. King Lion Crown said NECA and Angel are a great duo. VC is anyone hearing an echo? Stop. Please tell me there's not an echo. Like, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. If there's been an echo this whole time, no way. No, there shouldn't be. Is there really an echo? There shouldn't be an echo. Like, is there really? What's up, Henry T. Hurley Jr.? Welcome to the chat. Welcome back to the chat, actually. Angel pinned her shot on the backboard. It was a really fun matchup. Okay, JT said he does not hear an echo. You know, what we're going to see. Y'all know how I am with my technical difficulties, man. If it ain't one thing, it's another. But I appreciate y'all still being here through the madness. Okay, let's keep going and let's keep talking basketball. What I'm hoping, and the reason I put a picture of Angel versus Caitlyn in the in the lower third picture here was because it's their 2K players, and I'm just really excited about the addition of 2K going on. They also dropped an article on ESPN for the top 10 2K ratings overall, and Nafisa got a 98, and Aja got a 97. Asia Wilson got a 97. Was really cool. Actually, I don't mind pulling that up if y'all want to hear it real quick. I was gonna run through it because I mean, Angel's included in this because she's on the cover. Come on, let's be for real. But yeah, so Nafisa got a 98 overall. Asia got a 97. Stewie got a 97. Caitlyn got a 96 overall. Maybe I should do a whole segment on this. I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts on the overalls. Alyssa Thomas got a 95 overall. Sabrina Ionescu got a 93. NECA got a 92. Satu Sabali got a 92. Jonquel Jones got a 92. And then Angel Reese in the top 10 got a 90 overall. So you got Caitlin Clark with a 96 overall and then Angel Reese with a 90 overall. Those are your top 10 2K women ratings. What do y'all think? I should really do a separate segment on that because I think that would spark like a lot of conversation. JT says Cece didn't get a 108 overall rating. You know, I think they wanted to do that, but for the sake of they already have too much negative press going on. If they were to do it, they know the repercussions that would have helped, but they probably would have if they would have got away with it. What's up, Chicago Cheetah? Welcome to the chat. Hold on. Let me, Cheetah said, Angel Reese continues to be great. JT said 96 is BS. Yeah, sure. Okay. AJ said, Alicia is the best wing in the league. She should be top 10 for the 2K overall rating. I am surprised I don't see a single dream player in this top 10, bro. We got a Lynx player, an Aces player, a Liberty, a Fever player. We got two, not one, but two Phoenix Mercury players. Oh, another Liberty player with Sabrina. Then you got a Seattle Storm player. We got 3 Liberty players in the top 10 with Jonquel. Despite Jonquel being out for as long as she was, do y'all think it's fair that she got that 92 overall? And it's 3 ladies tied for 92. I didn't even look to see what Paige got. I'm pretty sure Paige is like high 80s. Definitely. I know Cooper Flagg got a 86 or 87. And they were saying that was like the highest rookie rating ever. That is pretty high for a rookie. But yeah. All right. Yup, popped in the chat and said Fever sucks. So you know what? We're going to wrap up the Angel Reese sentiment. Like I said, she had a comeback game last night. I was excited to see her back on the court so that we could continue to watch how she aligns with the Chicago Sky team and how they play with her. And we could continue to maybe add facts to all these narratives that are being spun. We want to bring facts. And the only way we can really judge a player is by what they do on the court. Off the court, maybe, but on the court. It's not just about, like, character. We're not attacking her character or anything like that anymore. She's back on the court, and we could finally talk about her in a basketball light. And that's really what we want to do. At least that's what I want to do. So, glad to see that Angel's back. And she's going to keep writing her story, and I'm going to be watching each chapter. I'm excited to see it, you know? All right, let's move on to this Indiana Fever team. All right. So, again, there was breaking news that dropped today. So, let's talk Caitlin Clark, obviously. And then we'll talk Fever as a whole. But we'll start with Caitlin. Because right now, her timetable for returning is looking bleak. Breaking news, ESPN dropped an article not even 15, 20, 30 minutes ago that Caitlin suffered a mild bone bruise on her ankle during a workout earlier this month. Why are we just now hearing about it? Sources say this injury does not impact her timetable, but it does indicate that she's not only recovering from one injury, but two. That's a little suspicious. I'm just saying, why are we just not hearing about this? And I feel like, are they trying to build us up to a huge breaking news that she just won't come back? Or does it depend? Are they waiting to see how the Fever do? Like, if they make the playoffs and it's like, oh yeah, Caitlin's gonna come back. Or if they don't, they're gonna be like, Caitlin, she had that bone bruise. Why am I keep going to bone bruise? She had that bone bruise. And it's like, are they trying to set us up? Do y'all see what I'm trying to say? Like, are y'all setting us up for something? Are y'all being strategic in this positioning? Because we all know how strategic this Indiana Fever team can be. And we're grateful for these hardship contract opportunities that teams have when their roster starts hitting below a certain number. They have signed 3 hardship contracts this year. And they down bad, man. All I know is this Caitlin, I got a little off topic, but this Caitlin Clark groin injury, has lingered a little too long. The one thing I did not do is look up groin injury recovery. Am I tripping? Or has this been a little too long? A groin injury recovery timeline varies based on its severity, but generally ranges a few weeks to several months. So we know she strained it one time and then she strained it again. So grade 1 is 1 to 2 weeks. Grade 2 is 4 to 8 weeks. Grade 3 can take 3 to 6 months and may have surgery. So maybe she's between that 1 to 2 because she's been out over a month. But if she was working out earlier, how did she how did she bruise herself? What's going on? What's really going on? I'm not gonna, just because I said this about Angel doesn't mean I'm not gonna say it about Clark. I say it about anybody. All right, Caitlin Clark might not return this year, and I'm a little concerned for this Indiana Fever team, only because her return would, I think, spark some energy that they need. Man, they are down bad right now. They just announced that Sophie Cunningham is out for the rest of the season, suffering like an MCL tear or ACL tear. One of them CLs, she's gone. She's cooked. All right. And then you got, Sydney Carlson went down, ACL. Then you got Ari went down with foot, and then Caitlin possibly not returning. Sheesh. So what have they done? I'm gonna give them some credit, because even despite all of this crap, they are still sitting in 6th. They're still sitting in 6th, y'all, in the playoff standings, and they've been winning, kind of. So I don't want to knock what they've done. And they've been active in signing veterans. They're signing hardship deals. And they're bringing anyone they can to stabilize this roster after losing 4 players. Okay, so the recent hardship deal signing was with Shea Petty. She's a 6-year WNBA veteran who jumped from the Sparks to Indiana on a 7-day hardship contract. It's an urgent solution to an urgent problem. All right. Lacing up with LA, she's averaging around 5 points and 2.7 assists. So obviously they're trying to find someone who can be impactful in their backcourt. But losing Sophie Cunningham is kind of like losing both a front court and a back court. And I'm not saying that she plays like a big, but I'm saying in addition to Lexi Hall, she does add like a lot of hustle and grit to the team, in my opinion. Like, those were the 2 people that would come out of nowhere and grab a board or just make those extra plays that give the stars like Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and sometimes Natasha, those second chance opportunities to score for their team. But I don't think them adding Petty is just about scoring. I do think, just based on them adding Odyssey Sims, that they are seeking out like veteran guards or bigs. They're seeking out veteran players, which I think is smart. But it's obvious that this Indiana Fever team is in desperate need of continuity. But I think the upside is we already were saying, at least I was, that this Indiana Fever offense was questionable. So adding the shakeup, I think, forces the coaches to make further adjustments to their offense, and it could possibly put players in better positions than what they were constrained to before. And so we obviously see, despite all of like the injuries going down, the resilience that they've had to demonstrate, Kelsey Mitchell just had an explosive 38-point performance to bring them over that win against the Connecticut Sun. However, not saying she can't continue this, she's averaging the best career points. She's averaging the best points of her career. I'm still concerned for how much that she has to take on just for them to win. Aaliyah Boston still showing up, doing what she needs to do. Natasha having Natasha days. But I still don't think, that it's going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough. And they do need Caitlin. Like, it was a huge question and a thought. Like, is Caitlin Clark really important for this Fever team to keep dominating or still keep being good? Because look at all that they've done without her. I don't doubt all the progress and breakout, like, stardom that they've experienced despite, her being out. However, I think now that they've even lost Sophie, it's insane. They need Caitlin Black back for just the sake of just for the sake. I can't talk today. Just for the sake of giving these Fever fans something hopeful to hold on to, right? Like, Caitlin coming back would not hurt the team. All right, not at this point. It is too far gone. All right, and so I think they need her back just for the sake of just bring something. They need something, man. They need one of us to lace up. It's bad. Scotty Boy says Cece's not coming back. On the injury report, and I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself because we're going to talk about it. Obviously, I have it on the docket because there's a lot of injuries right now that are impacting power rankings, MVP contenderships, teams, overall playoff positions. It's having a huge impact. So we're going to talk about it. But Caitlin Clark does have an estimated return date. I believe it said September 2nd. So, but there's no comment listed. Again, I said it for Angel. Don't we find that suspicious? Real Money said, doesn't matter if she comes back. Everyone just needs news. There's nothing to talk about with her. Oh. She literally just got a 96 overall rating on 2K. I mean, talking about there's nothing to talk about her. I still don't want to deny how great Caitlin Clark is. All right. Despite she needs to work defense, I still feel like she's a really great player. And just because she's been out doesn't change that for me. And I think she has a huge impact on the game overall. And she draws a lot of attention on offense. And she's had the hardest season. She's fighting a tough season because she hasn't even been out there. But they are kind of on her nutter butters a little bit. To give her a 96 overall and she's missed as many games as she's missed this season is insanity to me. But we look at the NBA, and when they drop their power rankings, they got Joel Embiid in the top 10 of the East. You feel what I'm saying? So this is not nothing new in the basketball community, in the media. So yeah, we calling out Caitlin, and yes, she has all this press, but it's not new for them to do stuff like this. Joel Embiid, I didn't even know he was still in the league, and this man is making the top 10 best players for next season, and he hasn't, like, when's the last time we seen Joel Embiid play? Like, I'm confused. I haven't even heard him. Is he in France? Where is he? Does France even let him visit? You feel what I'm saying? So there's a lot to be said about that. A lot to be said. Okay, Lance Lothar, that's really clever. Was this from when the assistant coach stepped on her? LOL, I didn't even know that. But apparently they said it has to do with a, like, workout that she was doing. So I don't know. And honestly, if it was the assistant, wouldn't they have been said this? You know what I mean? Like, this article this news just dropped. So I don't know what's going on. To me, I think it's like they're being strategic. This source, it was like a chess move. It could be ramping it up to, yeah, she might not come back. And again, I think it just depends on what the Fever do and this coming up run here. Let's look at the Indiana Fever schedule coming up, going in all the way up until she's supposed to return. return. Quote, return. Okay, so they play the Minnesota Lynx on Friday. Then they have a back-to-back against the Lynx on Sunday. Then they play the Storm. They play the Sparks, Golden State Valkyrie, and then the Phoenix Mercury on September 2nd. Yeah, this schedule, they're cooked. I'm just kidding. But I do want to see what the hell they're going to do. Every single team they're playing has something to prove. Even this Minnesota Lynx team, I think every single loss, they talk about, well, you know, they don't got enough visa. Every single win, they talk about, oh, they're a favorite to win. But, you know, people always got something to say. But anyway, playing the Minnesota Lynx back-to-back when y'all this down bad. Oh, my goodness. Courtney Williams versus Kelsey Mitchell. That's going to be a show. That's going to be fun to watch. Jessica Shepard, Aaliyah? Or is it going to be Alana Smith and Jessica? I mean, Alana and Aaliyah? What are we going to see here? Nafisa's set. We'll get to injury report in a second. But yeah. So this Indiana Fever team, and then they play the Storm, who I think they're trying their very best to hold their positioning. They're 2-game win deficit, 1.7 game win deficit over the Sparks. So I think the Storm are a wild card at this point. And then they play the Sparks after. So and then Golden State Valkyrie, everybody knows they're like the beloved. They're like the, what are they, like the Cinderella? Are they the Cinderella team? I don't think. Yeah, the Golden State Valkyrie could be like that Cinderella team. We already know there's been talks that their coach might end up being the coach of the year. And then the Mercury, who to me is a wild card team, but they're huge. So this Fever team, who's not that big, against this really aggressive Phoenix Mercury team, you see what they did to the Fever last time they played them. DeWanna Bonner has something to say, something to prove. I don't think that's going to change come here September 2nd. Let's see. I'm trying my best to read this chat without squinting. Y'all see I'm going like this. Well, if she doesn't, we good. Real Money said, well, if she doesn't come back, we good. Fever fight on. JT says, CC doesn't want to come back with her cheerleader Sophie out the rest of the season. Chicago Cheetah said, we definitely believe that CC is Greek. A Drizzy said, they are cooked. Ha 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 ha. Tulip, what's up, Tulip? Welcome to the chat, girl. Just got home. Hope you had a fabulous day, my dear, my darling. I'm glad. See, I love it when we start talking to each other in the chat. That's my favorite part about all of this. Randy Mayo, hey, welcome to the chat, bro. Okay, so I guess one more time I'm going to ask this question. Can Indiana survive the playoff race if Caitlin doesn't return? Can they survive the playoff race, y'all? Will they be able, and this is my prediction, that if this hard schedule, if they fall out of contention and the Mystics or the Sparks sneak in and they fall out, Caitlin's going to sit, and they better say the same crap that they said about Angel, that they should say it about Caitlin too. If they don't do well, Caitlin's not going to come back. But I do think if they sustain their playoff contention, that she will make a return, whether she's 100% or not. She was itching to play in the All-Star game. She strikes me as that type of person, and I think despite us not really rocking with Stephanie White sometimes, I think she does play checkers, not chess. No, sorry. I think she plays chess, not checkers. That's what I meant. Woo! Woo, y'all, woo! I think they play chess, not checkers, and I think that it's going to go like that. We'll see. Chicago Cheetah said, no Caitlin, no playoffs. So you think she gonna come back before, and it's gonna be because they're falling out of contention, and they gonna need her to keep them in? I don't know, man. I don't know. Reese from Philly, the Red Dragons, said 2 games and gone. So you think they're gonna make the playoffs, and even if Caitlyn comes back, they're gonna get knocked out in the first round? JT said they will sneak in and CC will return for playoffs. Bruce Morrow, welcome to the chat. They have to win one of those Lynx games. I think it is important that they win a Lynx game, even without Nafisa. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's very important that they win one of those back-to-backs for sure. I think every game that they have is important because let's look at their deficit, right? If you look at the standings, Indiana Fever have 19 wins, 16 losses, and Golden State Valkyries right behind them with 18 wins and 17 losses. So there's a plus 2.9 differential, but it only takes them to lose one game and the Valkyrie to win one game for the Valkyrie to take that 6th spot. And they're already, the Valkyrie, based on the power rankings that dropped, are projected to hit 6 after this week is over. Let's look at Golden State Valkyrie's schedule. Tulip mentioned that, said Golden State has a hard schedule this coming week and next, actually, like the rest of this month. So let's take a look at it real quick. They play Friday the Phoenix Mercury. Then they play the Dallas Wings. Then they play the Mystics on Saturday. And then on Sunday, next Sunday. So they have 4 games coming up here in this next week where the hardest games they might endure is this Mercury game. I think the Mystic game actually might be a little difficult for them as well because we see how much of a tear that these Mystics are on and how, like, they just lost, but hey, hear me out. They still, I can't deny their chemistry. I cannot deny their chemistry and the talent that they have amongst them. I can't deny it. And then they play the Fever in the following week. So they get a long break too. Let's put that into perspective as well. And a lot of these teams are getting getting breaks as the season's starting to wind down. But yeah. I don't think that this Golden State Valkyrie schedule is too tough. I think it's theirs to lose versus this Indiana Fever's team schedule. I'm a little concerned. It ain't looking good for who they got to play. God damn. Okay. Rick, welcome to the chat. Glad you're here. Henry T. Hurley said, even without Ari, Sophie, Sydney, and Cece, Mitchell or Boston haven't played with a W team that had this much talent. That's an interesting take. Random dude, welcome to the chat. Bruce said, to me, it's up to Boston for the Fever to win. And that's an interesting point because as much as attention's drawn on Kelsey Mitchell and how she's showing up for the team, Aaliyah Boston is so crucial for this Indiana Fever team. And I think even her own teammates overlook Aaliyah a lot of the times. And I don't know if it's because they know once she gets the ball, she's not really going to give it back up. I don't know if that's why, but I'm just saying, I think their game plan a lot is let's get it into Aaliyah, and the team is like, let's not. Like, that's just what I see sometimes, and I don't really understand it. And for them to not have such a strong backcourt, but rely more heavily on their backcourt when it's that down bad is kind of insane to me. But I'm hoping as we see Odyssey Sims get comfortable, we'll see what Shea does. I'm curious to see even how Lexi Hall is going to have to step up. But can they survive the playoff race if Caitlyn doesn't return? The answer is no. They need Caitlyn, y'all. They do. They need anything, honestly. They're down bad. Okay. Let's keep it going because we're a little bit we kind of past time. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe if you're new or you've never been here before or you're liking the community and the vibes. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope you can join the conversation. We continue to talk ball. Just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. So let's keep going. Third on the docket is this WNBA injury report. Yikes. Now, my beloved Dallas Wings and my beloved Lee Yavru went down. Lee Yavru has been diagnosed with an ACL, and that is damaging to this Dallas Wings team in their front court, right? And we talked about this a few episodes ago about how we're excited for the future of this Dallas Wings team. And I'm starting with the Dallas Wings and their injury because it not only did Lee go down, we're starting to see the report of Arike dealing with like nothing specific to her knee, but Shorty's going to be out for a few weeks. I think she's like, they just want to get her out of there. And I'm really glad about that. So I don't want her to be hurt, but it's given the impression that Arike's ready to be out of there. Paige is still dealing with some of her injury, and she's a fragile girl, and that concerns me. But them losing Lee, I think really, really sucked, y'all. I'm not going to lie. That hurt. And I know that they're not playoff contenders, but they are in a position with their schedule to really spoil it for a lot of these teams. And without Lee, I think Luis is still great. They got Diamond Miller. Who else do they got on their front court? I'm missing the one girl. What's her name? Was it Emily? I'm sorry to this Dallas Wings roster. I still think like they got Maddie Seegers, not Emily, Maddie. They same names. They got Lee Yavru just went down, so now their front court is looking a little shaky, right? But the good thing about this Dallas Wings team is they've been playing chess too. They got first round draft picks. So maybe when we thought, okay, we're going to see them build up the backcourt a little more, get rid of Arike and rebuild that around Paige and even JJ Cornelius, and then Isaiah James is also hurt. My goodness. So now it's like with Lee going down, it's like, okay, we need a front court. We had 4 solid front courts. Lee's going down. Should we still invest into our backcourt more heavily because our backcourt guards are still kind of shaky? Like, I really want to see what this Dallas Wings team does with all these avenues that they could possibly take. But again, I think it's a huge loss for the Dallas Wings, and I just hope that Lee has a speedy recovery, man. She was like, I really enjoyed her. James Pierre, welcome to the chat, said, you make great analysis in WNBA and NBA, and you're funny as well. Please keep going. I appreciate that, man. That really warms my heart. Troy Hall said, hi, just subscribed, and I see some of my chat friends here too. Awesome. Part of the basketball community. Again, I love all the support. Everyone comes in with like open, welcoming arms, and I've been blessed. I'm so blessed. Very much blessed. Tulip said, Bree, my people are in the chat for you. Let's go. Tulip. Such a growth girl. I love you. Jarius, welcome to the chat. Glad to see you. But yeah, so again, huge loss. Huge loss for this Dallas Wings team. And let me just double check this injury report and make sure I didn't miss anybody else to point out for the Dallas Wings. Yeah. And we all know Tyasha Harris is still out. She went down back in June, and she's undergoing procedures with her left knee. So we'll see. We shall see. Even though Isaiah James is listed as probable for today's game versus the Sparks, and that's on our docket, we'll talk about that. So I'll give a pause now for this Dallas Wing team because obviously we're going to revisit them tonight when they play against our dark horse Sparks. So let's keep going with this injury report and injuries overall and the impact that they've had. Let's shine some light on this Atlanta Dream team. Okay, JT still in the chat. Let's talk about it, right? Atlanta Dream lost to not only they're like on a losing streak right now. I think they're on a 2-game losing streak. A 1-game losing streak. But they lost to the Seattle Storm. They beat them, but then in the back-to-back, Seattle Storm managed to overpower them and win in that Canada game. And now we see them play against this Las Vegas Aces team, and they lost by 2 points. It was a dagger to the heart. But Asia had 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 freaking blocks. I said it yesterday or the day before. I'm concerned for the league. The way Asia's been playing and the way these aces have been winning, I'm genuinely concerned for everybody who has to play against them. And I'm not sure what was going on with this Atlanta Dream team. They didn't look like the same team we've seen them be. And that was one of the things I struggled with them. They just didn't seem to be playing like a unit. The fact that Brittany Griner led them in points is what scares and concerns me, right? But everybody has, can have an off night, and basketball is a game of runs. We know that. But with their current injury, they still have Jordan Canada out, and she was a crucial piece to their floor general. She, to me, was their floor general. Although we can see Ryan Howard be a point guard and playmaker, we could see Alicia Gray. She's just like a scorer, slasher scorer. I'm not saying she's not a playmaker, but she's not on that team to pass the ball by any means. Jordan Canada really was like starting to become that floor, like designated floor general for them. And I didn't think that they were going to miss a beat with her out. However, she did contribute greatly to the chemistry that they experienced even when Ryan Howard wasn't there. So, just a little bit more on this. They struggled with scoring, but they didn't even really have that many attempts to score. And it was really hard to watch them lose it down the stretch, because we all know that's what the Atlanta Dream's known for. And when you lose it down the stretch like this, and even if you're number 2 overall in the league, and you're number 1 in the Eastern Conference, you concern us with your ability to really make a deep playoff run if you cannot win games like this down the stretch. Why is it that y'all cannot seem to pull it away? What is going on? Where's the disconnect? What do y'all think? And it's not even like anybody else on the Las Vegas Aces. It was a low scoring game on both ends. So I'm not saying that the Aces played like an amazing game. Because, only 2 of their players were in double digits. Like, I'm not saying that. But there's no way y'all going to win if Naz Hillman only has 1 point, taking only 4 shots. There's just no way y'all are going to win. There's no way you're going to win if Brittany Griner's your leading scorer. Come on, y'all. Oh, she didn't lead scoring, but had the best game. But still, she had a good game, but I hated it. Y'all know how I feel. Random dude said, Alicia Gray looks bored out there. I don't know if, it's boredom or it's just, that's my problem with Alicia, man. That is literally my problem with her. She's been an improved player, obviously, but when I watch her play, it really, do you think she'd act like that if she was on a different team? Do you feel like she give that? She reminds me of Anthony Edwards sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's a cool comparison. I just feel like if she was on a different team, would it be different? Would she play differently? I don't know. Oh God! Someone said, "What's wrong with your mic?" What is wrong with my mic? What's wrong with it? Hold on, Bree. Why does Ryan keep taking the last shot when she never makes them? Can y'all hear me now? Is that better? I don't know. I just pressed the button on my thing. Is it better? What's wrong with my mic? Troy Hall said, I was upset the Dream letting go Haley Jones, but the Dream is currently in 3rd place for the playoffs, and if the playoffs started today, they'll play the Fever. All right. Someone said y'all can hear me. Hopefully, I'm not sure what's wrong with my mic, but we're going to keep going. Another injury report. Let's keep going. We talked about the Dream a little bit. I don't really think injuries is their problem. It's finishing down the stretch. That's their main problem. But they still don't have Jordan Canada. Her estimated return date, she was only expected to be sidelined for 2 weeks. And that was back last week. So a week and a half ago. So her estimated return date is August 27th. We might see her back before this month is over. She's definitely going to come back before playoffs. Like, there's no doubt about that. And Maya Caldwell's going to move back to the bench. And Naz Hillman, I think, has guaranteed her starting spot. Okay, let's talk about the Golden State Valkyries and their injury. Now, we know that they lost crucial players this year. Kayla Thornton, ended up being like their best player, taking it this year, making it her team. She went down. And then they had Tiffany Hayes. Monique Billings went down with her ankle sprain. And then Tiffany Hayes has been on and off this injury report all season. But she's still trying to show up for her team. Veronica Burton is holding it down. Now, if Veronica go down, they down bad. That's all I got to say. Cecilia Zandalasisi has a left calf injury. And then Leanna Rupert is day to day. Now, even though Monique is out, it says that her estimated return date is August 24th. You know what I'm saying? The thing that I love about this Golden State Valkyries team is their continuity has been like the least consistent in the league. Like, even with the injuries with Indiana, the Golden State Valkyrie has switched up their starting lineup so many times. And that's what I think this is. They do have a good coach. The fact that they switched it up this many times and they're still winning is insane. It's really commendable. But Tiffany Hayes is day to day. We'll see. And then if Monique Billings can make her return, that's only going to strengthen their team. I'm not too concerned about them injury wise, but I am concerned about them if it's like they on the fence, right? And if one more thing happens, they're going to tip over and they might be cooked. But we'll see. When you got a good coach and a good decent system, anything's possible. Anything's possible. What's up? What's up, T? All right, so let's see. Let's keep going with this injury report. We talked about the Indiana Fever. I'm not going to give them too much light, but we already know how we felt about that. And then Nafisa. Okay, Nafisa. She has an estimated return date for August 21st, right? But she was ruled out of the match yesterday. There hasn't been too much going on. She actually might make her return against this the Fever when they play the Fever on Friday. Y'all think she gonna come back on Friday? I think she been reading the articles. She got that 98 overall on 2K. She been reading she been like, all right, Asia, what you been doing has been cute, girl, but I'm ready to come back. Now, the Lynx did take a L against this New York Liberty team with a dagger by Sabrina Ionesco. I'm not going to say, just because they lost doesn't mean they're still not playing really good basketball, right? But I do think it's like, I didn't anticipate them to be on this amazing game winning streak without Nafisa. They need Nafisa. And I'm really, really waiting for her to come back, man. I want to see her come back so we can really continue these MVP talks. And instead of arguing about who we think qualifies as an MVP and stuff, we can actually argue these women actually they're hooping and the stats that they're producing. You feel what I'm saying? And the impact that they're having on the game. Because there's only so much we could talk about with an MVP contender who's not even playing, right? So I can't wait for her to come back so we can really get to the nitty-gritty of who should walk away with this MVP. Because the way Asia is playing is scaring me. Y'all not scared? I'm scared. Okay. Random dude said Collier can't be MVP if she misses more than 8 games. Chicago Cheetah said Fee will be back soon. JT said Sabrina was on one last night. That's the Sabrina we know and love. She got a 92... Caitlyn got a better 2K overall rating than Sabrina. How do we feel about that? I think Sabrina got like 92 overall. how we feel about Sabrina getting that. But again, 3 New York Liberty players got in the 90s 2K ratings, and one of those include Jonquel Jones, who's been a pleasure to watch. She did not look tired last night. I've been kind of on her butt about her looking tired and settling for the 3, but she did not look tired last night at all. I mean, if Nafisa come back and just get a double on our heads, I would be like, damn girl, you got it. MVP, you got it. You shut me the hell up. I mean, I'm still champion for Alyssa Thomas, but watching this Phoenix Mercury team is tough. I don't like watching them play. I like watching AT, but I this Phoenix Mercury team is really hard for me to watch. I think they're going to get knocked out the first round. But let's keep moving on these injury reports. We're slightly off topic, but slightly on topic. Stewie is set to return. Since we're talking about the New York Liberty, Stewie is set to return. She was a full participant on Monday's practice. Could we see Stewie come back? Her estimated return date is August 28th. Now, let me see. They play Saturday, August 23rd. So that's their next game. But on ESPN, it says she's not supposed to come back to the 28th, which she would sit out against this Atlanta Dream, which I think you should bring her back against the Dream because both of y'all are tied for second and third and tied for number 1 in the East. Bring Stewie back. But if she was a full participant in practice on Monday, they would bring her back against the Mystics, hosting the Mystics on Thursday the 28th. So maybe they're waiting for a home game because I know that Stewie hasn't been traveling with them. That's another thing. Don't y'all find it interesting when a player is hurt? Sometimes they travel, sometimes they don't. That's interesting to me. But yeah, maybe they're gonna wait to bring her back for a home game. Because if they play again, they host the Connecticut Suns. Maybe they're like, we don't really need to bring you back against the Suns. Or maybe the ESPN report is wrong and they will bring her back on Saturday. There's so many what ifs, right? I feel like I'm squinting like a grandma, but I can't help it. Oh no, so they play tomorrow night and they host the Liberty. I mean, they host the Sky tomorrow night. Then on Friday, then they play Saturday. My bad. So they host the Chicago Sky tomorrow, and then they play the Dream on Saturday. But they don't got to come back till Thursday. So they play tomorrow, Saturday, Monday, and then Thursday. I don't know. What y'all think? Let me see what y'all been saying. Oh, y'all arguing the 2K rating. Yeah. I do agree. Tulip said the machine is pushing so hard. Putting CC over AT is diabolical. Like, for real. I would have to agree with that. We got a lot of people in consensus that Sabrina is better all-around player than Caitlin Clark. But yeah, let's just move. Let me just finish off with this injury. Is it interesting, though, that J.C. Sheldon for the Mystics have yet to touch the court? I find it kind of interesting. She's been on their team for a minute now. We've yet to see her make her debut. But I feel like even if she did, do they really need her? The way Sug, Jade, Sonya, that backcourt right there alone has been good enough. So, you know. Even Alicia Clark, they got her she kind of like Sophie Cunningham. Like, she kind of do a little both, but they don't use her offensively. When I watch them play against the Sparks, they don't really use Alicia for her offensive contributions, for sure. It's really nothing that she needs to do. She's just kind of out there. Like, but she does a lot of other different things. But yeah, as far as injuries, I know that it didn't sound like there's a lot of injuries, but there is a lot of injuries right now. And with like Nafisa, like I said, Nafisa out, Asia has making her playoff runs look insane. Teams that are fully healthy, like the Phoenix Mercury, still it's like, why are y'all struggling? And then you got Atlanta Dream losing down in the stretch. I'm not saying a lot of Jordan at Canada is an impact or not an impact, but a lot of these injuries around the league is definitely impacting the way these ladies are playing in playoff positions. Notably tonight with the Sparks versus the Dallas Wings. So let's talk about it. Where do the Sparks sit on the standings? Sparks sit at number 9. They have 16 wins and 18 losses, while the Washington Mystics game last night really did hurt them because that put them at 16 and 19, making the spread like a negative 1.6. Both teams are on a lose streak. I mean, it didn't help that the Los Angeles Sparks lost to the Mystics, but both of these teams are kind of losing important games here that are really just keeping them. It's keeping the Los Angeles Sparks at 9. And Seattle Storm winning these recent games against hard teams got them sitting at 18 and 18. So, if the Sparks win tonight, it would further their differential between the Mystics, but it would put them closer to the Storm. And then the Storm play on tomorrow. Do they play tomorrow? So much to keep up with. But I love it. The Storm don't play tomorrow, so they play Friday. It seems like people play they play Friday against the Dallas Wings too. So just based on this, if the Sparks can pull off a win, despite which I think they will, I do think they're going to pull off a win tonight. If they don't get into foul trouble and if they move the ball around, they can sneak this win in. Not even sneak it in. They could win this game tonight. If they don't win this game tonight, listen, Sparks, y'all had a good run. Like, do y'all even deserve to make it to playoffs? No offense to this Dallas Wing team, but come on, Sparks. Come on, man. See what the chat's saying. Oh, and then let's pull it up. Let's pull up the y'all know I like to do the little WNBA thing, the needs to knows and stuff like that. So, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, the Los Angeles Sparks host the Dallas Wings. Need to know, Dallas leads the league in offensive rebounds per game, while the Los Angeles Sparks lead the league in points in the paint per game. With Lee LaRue down, who's going to stop De'Erica Amby? Is it going to be Louise? Is it going to be Maddie Seegert? I mean, I'll be honest with you. De'Erica Amby and Azare versus Maddie Seegert and Louise. Here's the thing, though. I think Dallas Wings have really good transition offense, and the Sparks have terrible transition defense. Luis and Maddie both can finish really well at the rim, and we know that De'Erica Amby struggles with rim defense. So that is something to point out. Now, aggression-wise, maybe, just maybe, the Sparks team might bring a little more aggression and versatility with their front court than the Dallas Wings do. However, is Kelsey Plum, this terrible perimeter defender. She was so questionable to watch the other night, y'all. That's probably like the worst part of her game. It's going to be very questionable to see how she matches up against Paige. She doesn't back down from guarding the best guards. I will give Kelsey that. And it was funny because they said she was 5'6", and she went up to the score table when they were like announcing the starters, and she was like, I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8". She's really small. But Sonia Citron is huge. She's huge, y'all. And Kelsey Plum was tasked with guarding her. And I think she did okay. But Julie Alleman and Kelsey Plum really struggle with guarding that perimeter. And since Paige is so versatile in that aspect, I really think she can blow by both of them and score at ease. So I really, I'm curious to see what those matchups are going to be perimeter-wise with their defense. If the Sparks had better defense, they'd be a top team, but they just don't, and it really shows. But last time these two teams seen each other was this month, about 5 days ago. The Sparks beat the Dallas Wings by 1 point. It was a high-scoring game, considering like WNBA context, with 97-96. The time before that, that they played, the Sparks beat the Dallas Wings 93-79. So they've seen each other twice, and Sparks have came out on top. However, we see the trend with the Sparks team. I'm a little concerned for them. I'm not saying that the Dallas Wings could beat them, and because Lee is down, then that offensive rebound and presence might not be as much of a concern for the Sparks team. But if they don't stop this downhill or this transition that the Dallas Wings tends to do, then they're in trouble. Thankfully, they're home, so they might have a whistle advantage. Who knows? What do y'all think? Random dude said, Maddie Seeger always plays great versus the Sparks. WB, welcome to the chat. Said, I want the Sparks to win and for Paige to drop a 30-piece. You know, in my ideal world, I'd love to see that happen too. I would absolutely love that. That would be like the perfect game for me. Just to see Paige get buckets, but then we still see the Sparks win. A win is a win, man. A win is a win. Troy Hall said the Wings are playing spoilers. Washington lost last night to the Sun, which hampered their grounds to catch up for a playoff spot. It did. It did. Let's talk about well, Troy said if the Sparks didn't have the early injuries, they'd be in the top 8. Ooh. Here's the thing, though. I will say, out of the East Coast and the West Coast teams, the West Coast had a harder it has a harder teams than the East Coast, I think. Had better teams this year overall. So, I don't know if Dallas would have been in the top 8 in the West. It might be a little bit of a stretch. Personally, I got people saying LA got it tonight. Someone said Rakia's been up and down, so it's hard to say. And I do think they rely, you know what? The way so someone has said this to me before. They said, do you think Rakia is the Sparks' number one go-to? Like, is she their number one option? And I was watching them, and, you know, when they're stagnant on offense, it's definitely Rakia who's like, bro, I'm going to get my bucket. Definitely. She's definitely one of those players that's like, I'm going to get mine. So we could argue, is she their number one option? Sometimes that is the impression. And then sometimes it's De'Erica Amby. And then I think it's Kelsey Plum. And then I think it's Azare. That's what it feels like to me. And then Julie Alleman, she's definitely more of a playmaker. She doesn't take as many threes as I think she has it open. She's definitely looking for that pass first. But Rakia Jackson seems to be their first option. That's the impression I get. But they have no problem feeding the hot hand. And then Cameron Brink, she sneaks in there every once in a while and she makes that three or she gets that offensive rebound. I think Maddie Seeger and Luis are going to struggle against Cameron tonight. I really, really do. Lee brought that like length in body. So with someone like Cameron, it's just I think she's going to cause problems for this Dallas Wing team. We'll see. Me squinting is probably the highlight of the stream. What the heck? I'm getting a little bit of a headache. Okay, we're an hour in. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. I don't know if they'll have projected starters, but what I can say is what I think. They don't have it because something's broken on the WNBA website. I kind of talked this website up. So WNBA, if anybody on your staff makes it onto the stream and you hear this message, please fix your website. Because a lot of these links are broken. All right. I'm trying to give y'all a shout out here, trying to hype up the community. I know y'all got a lot of going on right now, civil wars and stuff, but I need y'all to get this website together, please. Okay, so this is what I anticipate them starting for Dallas Wings. Maddie, Haley, Luis, Paige. And they might start JJ. Maybe. She's just so small. I don't know if they want to go that small. Maisha Hines, they might start her and then bring JJ off the bench. But the last time they played, JJ played a lot the last time she played against them. And she actually had a decent game. But I'm curious to see if that will be their starting five. Or they'll start Grace Berger and bring JJ off the bench. Maybe. Because Maisha Allen Hines, I don't think she's a great off the bench player. Starting her, I don't think would hurt. But maybe you're trying to save her for that second burst off the bench. I don't know. For the Sparks, we already know who's starting. We already know. Rakia, De'Erica, Azare, Kelsey, and Julie. That's easy. And then Ray Burrell off the bench, obviously. And Cameron Brink. Come on. Nonetheless, I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be as close as it was last time. But this really is, it really depends on this Sparks defense. And, we say that time and time and again. Let's see what chat's saying. Let me see. Green Ghost said Cameron Brink gets in foul trouble real quick. Sometimes I just feel like it's so unwarranted. I don't know what the refs have against her. But sometimes the calls they make on her are questionable. All right. Let's keep going, and we'll wrap up this stream talking about some NBA. Henry T. Hurley Jr., before we go to that, he says Sparks scoring over 100 points. I can see it. I can see it happening. We haven't had a 100-point game in a little minute, huh? Have we? I think we had a 100-point game in a little minute. Yeah. I don't think the last 100-point game was until last week. Oh, the Aces scored 100 against the Dallas Wings this week. We rarely see 100-point games, so it would be fun if we saw one tonight. Okay. Let's move on to the NBA. We'll wrap up the WNBA. I appreciate you all. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Please subscribe. Please tune in. That would just be really cool if we could hit that 500 mark by the end of the week. All right. Let's talk about this Golden State Warriors team. And if you've seen previous episodes or if you've watched the free agency tracker, you've been locked in on NBA news. Not too much going on aside from Luka getting hurt. Rumors with LeBron and the Lakers roster, and what else is going on in the NBA world? Just some things that the analysts are saying, people are debating over, and some recent signings like with coaches or team signings, getting like the biggest deal ever with the Celtics, stuff like that, right? The one thing that has stuck out to me is, and I talked about Jonathan Kuminga, but I didn't really go too deep into the Warriors in general. And there's been a recent rumor report surrounding Stephen Curry and what he wants to see happen in the offseason or even before the start of the season for this Golden State team. So, again, Golden State. I think they've been quieter than the library this summer. Like, what the hell is this team doing? Because there's been nothing happening. And I want to say they're playing chess and not checkers. However, I think they're either being idiots or they're being stubborn or they really shot themselves in the foot with all the trades that they made, the decisions that they made with keeping players off the bench, not really playing them that much, and specifically, obviously, Jonathan Kuminga. Because it's like, it's either sign this man, trade him later, or don't sign this man, get rid of him. What's the problem? Like, what's going on? It's holding them up. It's stalling them. That's why I'm saying that they're stalled right now. So, they've made no major moves, no free agency splashes, no huge trades. While the rest of the league has been making huge moves, Golden State Warriors have been like nowhere to be found. They stayed still. And I don't think this is by accident. Stephen Curry himself acknowledged that they were the only NBA team with 0 transactions. And they're stressed out though, because we all know they need pieces. Bad. Desperately. They've needed that for a couple years now. So like, why so quiet? The elephant in the room is Jonathan Kuminga, his contract standoff with the franchise. They've reportedly offered a 2-year deal in the mid $40 million range, but Kuminga wants more. And until that gets settled, they can't move forward financially or strategically. We heard rumors or reports that Al Horford, that deal is holding him up from moving. It's like they got him floating. I don't think they're going to make any moves until this Jonathan Kuminga deal wraps up. But rumor has it, Curry has made a personal plea for Gary Payton. Are y'all shocked? Gary Payton, personal plea from Steph to return on a 2-year deal. I mean, we all know he brings that defensive energy. And obviously, he's like a fan favorite, possibly. This is what the article was saying. And apparently they got Draymond Green backing this. So we all know Steve Kirby on Draymond Green's Nutter Butters, and he's going to listen to whatever Draymond says. So it's a high chance that Gary Payton could be coming back as well. But Al Horford and Gary Payton, is that really going to be enough? Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Al Horford, Draymond Green, and Gary Payton? Brandon Podojemski, who else? Jonathan Kuminga, maybe. A little bit of the season. Who else? I haven't looked at their roster. Let's look at their roster. Good googly muggly. They got Buddy Hield, Quentin Post, which took more minutes away from Trace Jackson than I thought was due. Moses Moody, Guy Santos, Kevin Knox II, Isaiah Mobley, who looked like Evan Mobley's brother, which I love seeing brothers in the league. Let's be honest. Yeah, and Trace Jackson Davis. I left out some other people, but did that really matter? Did I really even say anything? I don't even think I said anything worth noting. Like, they clearly don't care about their future. Golden State clearly don't care. Like, for them to be holding off the way that they're doing, you think they got this huge team and they're being really strategic about who they bring on because they actually gonna stand a chance. But I'm looking at this roster and I'm like, y'all really holding it up for what? For what? Someone said the Warriors suck. Yeah. Are the Warriors headed for a nightmare season? I can name, if there's, how many teams are in the West? 18? 15? I can name 14 teams better than the Warriors. Let me stop. I'm just kidding. I'm bluffing. It's not 14 teams better than the Warriors, but let's see. We definitely could. So they finished number 7 in the standings last year. They went 48-34. They were 24-17 away, 24-17 home, 29-23 in the conference. Last year, the Grizzlies, Kings, Mavericks, Suns, Trailblazers, Spurs, Pelicans, and Jazz finished worse than them in the Western Conference. Here's the thing. I got the Grizzlies being better than them, the Kings being better than them, the Mavericks absolutely will be better than them. I don't know about the Suns, but if I wanted to be shady, I'd be like, the Suns are going to be better than them, but I'm not going to take it that far. I don't know. The Trailblazers could possibly be better than them. Now I'm getting a little shady. The Spurs are definitely going to be better than them. That's already 1, 2, 3, 4. And even I got the Pelicans being better than them. Y'all look at the Pelicans roster. It's nasty. I love it. I love the Pelicans roster. They're going to be better than the Warriors. That already puts them down 6 spots. I got them finishing at the bottom 3 of the West next year for this Golden State Warriors team. I'm not even kidding. We all know when Steph gets hurt, Draymond magically be out too. And Jimmy Butler, how reliable is he? Oh, Lord. If I was Jonathan Kuminga, I'm asking for more money on purpose because I want you to trade me. You matter of fact, just put me on the free agency. To hell with y'all. Like, for real. But I don't know the ins and outs of contracts. I'm just saying. I don't want to be too shady and say that the Utah Jazz is going to be better than them. I'm not going to take it that far. But yeah, they're definitely not going to finish in the top 10 next season. Absolutely not. And this isn't just because they haven't made that many offseason moves. It's because the offseason moves that they're trying to push through still, to me, doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Okay, I see some, let's see. Random dude said Mavs, Clippers, Lakers, Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, OKC are all better than the Warriors. Yeah. Tulip says, Bree, the West is stacked for the W in the NBA. Yeah, and you know what? Being the East Coast, shout out to the East Coast. I needed this to be our year. I was more excited about the East Coast dropping their top 10 than I was the West Coast because I really hope for the best for the East Coast. I really want an East Coast team to win it this year. Please. When the last time they won it? The Celtics? Yeah, I guess that was recent. Before that, was it the Raptors? I just need the East Coast to win it this year, you know? I don't care which East Coast team does it. But just get it done. Just get it done. Shout out to the East Coast. Oh, I see Jacob and Green Ghost going back and forth. We love the debate. I missed the debate. What y'all debating about? Random dude said, I would support a Dalton Connect for Kuminga trade. So Kuminga to the Warriors? Kuminga to the Lakers? For Dalton Connect. I think Dalton Connect will look really good on the Warriors. I like that. I'm not going to lie. I like that take. That's a player that seemed to fit with what the type of system the Golden State Warriors don't seem to want to give up. Because they had a decent, solid player in Jonathan and Andrew. And they were like, nah, y'all don't fit in with what we really want to do. Bye-bye. Then they try to get Buddy Hield. Like, Buddy Hield was really finna... I see you could just kind of see where they're still trying to keep this Warriors vibe going. And they just keep missing the mark. But Dalton Connect, I think, would be a solid to that. Oh, y'all were talking about CeCe having slow feet. Y'all going to talk about CeCe. I'm just looking for some basketball comments, for some NBA comments, though. Tulip said, Bucks and Celtics most recent. True. Bucks did win it. We'll get Giannis. Shout out to Giannis. Giannis was number 1 in the NBA top 10, by the way. He was number 1 in the East for the projected top 10, and I think that was rightful. T said, not as Lakers fan, we don't want him. You don't want Jonathan Kuminga? Why not? I'm definitely trolling you on that one because ain't no way I want Jonathan Kuminga on my team. I'm sorry, Jonathan, no shade, but I don't want you on my team. Like, you probably like not even top 20 guards in the league for me. So, there's that. JT said Hawks on the come up this year. Trey did make the top 10 list on the top East. He actually got number 10 or number 9. I think he might have got number 9 or number 10 on the top 10. Also, having Porzingis, I think is so dope. I think the East, I think the Hawks roster is looking pretty decent. I like their roster. Oh yeah, someone talking about how Giannis slapped his Greek teammate. I did not see it, but I did hear about it, and I think that might be a discussion this week. So stay tuned. Welcome to the number one only. Welcome to the chat. Troy Hall said, if I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, all we get is play in tournaments. You know, that's true. This is like 2 years in a row that they got playing tournaments. And then I also see rumors of Josh Giddey might be getting traded off that team, which surprises me. I like the Bulls. I really do. And I'm excited to see, like, Kobe White and, you know, that team. If you look at their team overall, they got a whole bunch of, like, fundamental guys who are, like, the third, coming from teams where they're, like, the third option scoring. So to see, like, a whole team of third option scorers is going to be really interesting. Like, go look at the Bulls roster. It's like, okay, this is going to be a fundamentally sound team for sure. I don't know about super athletic, but fundamentally sound. Yeah. That's to me a win for them. I like teams like that. I don't know the Greek culture or what it's like to be like Greek or whatever. But if Giannis slapped, like, if I was Greek and Giannis slapped me, I don't think I'd react either. I love the passion. Someone said Hallie Sr. has been a clown. JT said Pelicans medical staff should be paid extra. They players stay in the medical room. Tulip says, Bree, where do you have Golden State finishing? I got them in the play-in at best, maybe missing it altogether. I don't have them in the play-in. Like I said, no. I may have answered it, and I didn't even know you asked me, but I got them finishing bottom 3 of the league this year. I don't see them in the play-in. There's so many better teams right now. So many other teams in the West that are going to end up being better than them. That's my guess. We'll see. But yeah, let's see. Even the Kings made good offseason moves. I think the Kings are going to be, like I said, Kings are going to be better than them. Mavericks are going to be better than them. Grizzlies, Spurs, Pelicans. So that already puts them down to like bottom 13. And possibly the Blazers, but we're going to see. We're going to see what it's like to not have DeAndre Ayton on that team. Let us see. Okay, where are we at time-wise? Awesome. All right. Yeah, I mean, Curry is old now, but it's just really interesting to me that the rumors are true. Out of everybody, you want Gary Payton to just come back? Like, what happened to when they went and they rallied for Kevin Durant to come over? Why aren't we seeing that with Draymond and Steph? With as much influence that they have, they're rallying to keep Gary Payton. What other rallies could they make? Westbrook's still on the waivers. I'm trolling now. Russell Westbrook's still on the waivers. Oh Lord. I'm just saying. Why aren't they rallying for other people? Or maybe they are and we just don't know about it yet. Maybe they're saving that up for when it's time to trade Kuminga. Who knows? Who really knows? But something's got to give. We're going to see something. We're going to see something from this Warriors team. And maybe it will shock us, but I'm not holding my breath. You know, this 2K conversation really is a good one. And I'm going to take us back to this intro real quick. And I don't mind us talking about the 2K ratings real quick because I want to hear the NBA's top 2K ratings. And then, you know, we had the list of the 2K ratings for the women. Let's see the men real quick. So we got Nikola Jokic at the top with a 98. So him and Nafisa Collier both got 98 overalls. Then I'm comparing the ones in the. We'll compare it like that. That's pretty fun, right? Okay, so Nafisa and Jokic both, was it well earned that they got the 98, or y'all not shocked? Or y'all shocked? Shea got 98 too, and Giannis. So all three of them got 98s. How we feel about that? Then we got Luka at with number 4 with 96 overall. And then LeBron James tied with Luka at 96. Number 5, 96 overall. LeBron James. And then again, the WNBA top 5, you got Nafisa with 98 overall. Asia with 97. B. Stewie with 97. Caitlin Clark with 96. And then Alyssa Thomas with a 95 overall. See what chat's saying. JT said Jokic should be 99 or higher. I am kind of surprised to see he got a 98, but I feel like if they gave him a 98, then there's like, 99, then they'd be like, you got to get Shea a 99. You feel what I'm saying? And then I feel like it was like, we can't get two people 99s. Like, I think these are the conversations that they have behind the scenes. So they were like, F it. We're going to just give all three of them. I like that Giannis is a 98 too. I think he deserved it. I think he had an amazing season. Despite being on the injury report like the entire time, I won my fantasy basketball team. I had the 5th overall pick, and I went with Giannis. And boy, did he bring my team a lot of wins. Not going to lie, it was because of Giannis. He finished at the top like every week. So, shout out to Giannis. And he was formidable. He probably missed like 1 or 2 games. He played like the whole time, bro. I loved it. Maybe not 1 or 2 games. I'm being dramatic, but still. Okay, now at number 6, and again, Luka and so 3 people with 98s, and then Luka and LeBron with 96 overalls in the top 5 in 2K. Then at number 6, you got Steph Curry at 95 overall. And then Sabrina is number 6 too in the women, and she got a 93 overall. Then for the number 7 for women is Nneka. She got a 92, while in the men's number 7 was Jason Tatum with a 95. They put Jason Tatum 95 overall, and then they got Anthony Edwards at 94 overall. Anthony Edwards top 10, 94. Anthony Edwards with a 94. And then and he's number 8. And number 8 for the women is Satu Sabali with a 92 overall. Then Victor Wembanyama with a 94 overall at number 9. And Jonquel Jones with a 92 overall, number 9 for the women. And then to bring us home at number 10, we got Angel Reese with a 90 overall. And for the men, Kevin Durant with a 93. You got Anthony Edwards over Kevin Durant? They gave Anthony Edwards a 94 and Kevin Durant a 93. How y'all feel about that? Should Anthony Edwards be in the top 10 for this overall? And should Jason Tatum, who's not even going to play next season, be in the 95 overall? It's like, if he's not there, then who would be in his place type time? I want to know what Jalen Williams got. J-Dubs. What J-Dubs get? I'm about to look at that real quick. See where he fell on the list. Damn. They got Tyrese Halliburton at a 93 overall and Cade Cunningham at 92. They got Ja Morant tied with Devin Booker at 91 overalls. And J-Dubs with a 90 overall. At least he got a 90. I'm kind of shocked to see him down the list so much. They got Paolo Banchero at an 89 overall. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. I've been running my mouth. Let me see what the chat say. These 2K ratings, I know they don't really like matter to the real game, but it's still kind of shocking to me when I see what players get versus like a top 10 player in real life and versus a top 10 in 2K. Now, when I play 2K, my friends say I'm not bad. Like, I'm not terrible at 2K, but they were like, you can't play 2K. Like, I know you know basketball, and that makes you decent at the game. But I'd be like, hey, why didn't that? They're like, stop playing like you're really playing basketball. You got to play, like, with the game. I'm like, what? But I understand. Like, I'm in a virtual space, so I don't play. Like, I play like I'm really playing in real life, and it's like, it doesn't translate sometimes. But yeah, still. Real Money said the 2K cover athlete got a 90. Dilbert, welcome to the chat. Where your content on the DC game you attended? I would have thought like 5 videos by now. Where your content on the DC game you attended? I dropped it. A Drizzy said, Bree, how is my GOAT Jordan Poole going to do? How is he going to do in New Orleans? The fact that Jordan Poole is your GOAT, I'm genuinely concerned for your medulla. There's no way. You're trolling me right now, right? That Jordan Poole is your GOAT? Oh my God. DeJounte Murray, hopefully he comes back quick. I want to see how he plays alongside DeJounte. I think he always lucks out being on teams with really good rosters, but then, you know, aside from Golden State, he did great, but he was disappointed. And so with this Pelicans team, I really, really, truly hope to the Pelicans' sake that he grows, because his immaturity is still there. Like, why has he not grown as a player, you know? Like, to me, I don't feel like he got better when he went to the Wizards. And maybe that has to do with the Wizards. Are they known to make people better? No. But I still want to see at his level of play that I want to see him get better this year. And if he doesn't, then it's going to answer what I've been saying all along. Jordan Poole is the problem. But yeah, Dobert, I don't know. Dilbert, I don't know what you mean by where my content on a DC game, because I dropped a vlog, and I don't get used to me doing vlogs, y'all. Don't get used to me doing that. I did it because I wanted you to come with me to a game, but I'm not gonna be doing vlogs. That's not what this is for. This channel is to talk basketball, not for me to do vlogs. Hey guys, going on the train. Like, it was fun, don't get me wrong, but no, we're here to talk ball. Because if you know bull, you know ball. Okay, Tulip, used to play 2K. We gotta play some 2K. I'm excited for 2K26 to come out because, like I said in my last stream, go check it out. I can't wait to see, since women now are integrated, first time ever in history, if you guys don't already know, not only will there be a separate mode, but they are merging the modes together, and you'll be able to play. You can use Paige Beckers to throw a oop. Paige can throw a oop to AD. That's tough. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm putting Paige Beckers and SGA on the same team, and we're going to do nothing but pull-ups the whole game. Nothing but pull-ups. I want Sabrina Ionesco to throw a lob. No, her and Steph Curry on the wings. Come on, yo. Come on. Or play against each other and you got Sabrina guarding Steph. It's still gonna be tough. I'm curious to see how like the controls work and if there's gonna be like any variations there. But I think that's so dope how they're merging the two. Somebody said I don't want to see Brittany Griner dunk on Shaq or something. That was hilarious. We got to see it. It's gonna be so much fun to see that. Tula says CC is LaMelo Ball. Oh God, don't get me started on LaMelo. I said on Man Down Sports, make sure you go check out Man Down Sports podcast. I said that the Hornets are the AAU team of the NBA. They're the AAU team of the league. That's the Hornets. The whole team full of YNs. LOL. Troy Hall said, was Jordan Poole the problem before or after the sucking knockout punch by Draymond Green? Draymond will forever be the problem. Forever. Draymond is a villain. He'll forever be a villain to me. But you know, every league needs a villain. You see what I'm saying? Every league needs one. In the women's league right now, I think Bria Hartley is the villain of the league right now. Bria Hartley, and I'll give a little bit to Sophie Cunningham. Like, I know she just got hurt, but she got fined, by the way. Remember we were talking about her 2 fines earlier this year about what she said about the refs? She also got hit with a fine again, and her mom said something about it, but she got slapped with another fine for her comments about Paige Beckers and how the refs show her favoritism. Like, when is she going to learn? I don't think, and also, if she's getting slapped with fines and nothing's changing, is there going to be another route that the WNBA takes? Also, I'm wrapping y'all heads down, but when I was watching the Chicago Sky game, there was a fan with a poster, and it said, pay them, Kathy, talking to the commissioner of the league. Said, pay them, Kathy, trying to hold Kathy accountable. Oh my God, someone said there's an echo. Fix my mic. If there's been an echo this whole time, like, yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. Someone just texted me and said, fix your mic, there's an echo. I don't know what to do. There's been an echo, y'all? If there's been an echo, I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. Well. Quick mic check, yo. Tulip said it's fine. But, like, I don't know. I don't know why there's an echo for some people and then there's an echo not for some people. I know I struggle with audio issues. I'm so sorry, y'all. But, anyway. I appreciate you still in this chat supporting. A Drizzy said, you got to do a couples game. Yeah. That'll be fun. See, those are things that I think the NBA, the WNBA could do, like side quests with the players. Do a couples game or a couples tournament or something. That'd be fun, right? That raise some money, draw some awareness and visibility to the league, or 2 players on them playing 2K together. Wouldn't that be the cutest thing? Like if I was Asia and Bam, like let's play 2K together. And then, like, he plays as Asia and she plays as him. See, they need me on their they need us. They need y'all. It was y'all idea. They need us on their PR team, right? They gotta give the fans what they want. Give them what we're asking for. Okay. Well, I clearly can't use this record this footage for anything. But anyway. Okay. So, today has been a lot of fun. Be on the lookout this week. I'm going to be a part of the Man Down Sports Friday, full panel Friday. So, we kind of went viral on Twitter, too. I actually like. Do I want to play that for y'all? It's actually really hilarious. Y'all want to see it? It's just like a little clip of us. Let's see if I can play it. That is so funny. It was like a little clip of us. And we were talking about Steph Curry when he lost the MVP, that finals MVP to Kevin Durant. And we were just talking about him crying. See if I can find it. Someone made an edit. It was just so funny. Bear with me. Bear with me. And then we'll wrap the stream up. Okay. How should I play this? See if I can try to quickly get it going here. It's gonna be a little shaky for me real quick. I'll be honest with y'all, cause I'm like trying to add this and OBS. I be trying with OBS. Sometimes it get a little sticky. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. I ain't mad at what's happening right now. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Oh wait, it's not. Hold on now. Bear with me. Maybe I'll just do a screen capture. Let's just do a screen capture. F it. Application capture. No. Window capture. We'll do a window capture. No, that's not working. Wait, hold on. Show. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. Hey, I figured it out. Okay.
I think a lot of that is his cool persona is true, but I don't want people to mistake the fact that Steph definitely wanted that final MVP. Like they swept the Cavs. So when he struggled in game 3 and Kevin Durant had to save the Warriors, it's footage of Steph leaving the arena into the tunnel. They're up 3-0. The game just ended. They're up 3-0, and he's in tears because he knew he lost the MVP or the Finals MVP that night.
I think that was the 43. That was the 43-point game, wasn't it? That was the 43-point game, wasn't it? Game 3.
Iggy was holding him like he had to, like Jordan flu game, while he had tears in his eyes, going into the tunnel up 3-0.
He ain't lying.
I remember they was neck and neck, KD and Steph, and then Steph had one bad game. KD was hitting, lock on Steph, head was down, damn near tears. Yeah, after the win, nigga was mad. He wanted to win that, but KD was trying to give it to him, like KD won the year before. So he was trying to give it to him, but Steph
like I'm trying to miss, goddamn it.
Steph couldn't make a shot, bro. I was like, he had I think the lowest he scored in the finals. It was a sweep, so they was like.
But that's what I said. When people say this ain't a thing, man, it is a real thing, man. Like it is, man. I'm this close to winning something, and you don't think I'm gonna go for it? Of course.
You think it's because Steph knew he lost the Finals MVP? Really?
Yes.
You think so?
Why else would you be crying up 3-0?
Why would you be crying?
Maybe because he's like 3-0. That excited.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
No, stop it. It's that.
That could work. I see what you're saying.
I'm not a guy, so I don't. No, I'm not a guy. Like
No.
Coming from a good place.
First off, I'm not
a guy. Like y'all think differently. Oh my goodness! No, like hear me out. Maybe because he was excited. I was being dead serious too. I was like, okay, yeah. They were laughing at me, not with me, but that's okay. As a guy, or even as like for me, like if we're winning, then okay, cool. But if I wanted the MVP, I guess I'd be crying. But I didn't think Steph was like that type of guy, you know. Steph just doesn't give me the impression that he would care about something like that, but I guess he really did. He was crying because of that. Guys, y'all know better than I'm gonna give it to men to know better, and then also like even guys who are part of the league were saying it's definitely because he wanted to win. But yeah, shout out to Man Down Sports, shout out to Mel. Make sure you go over to Man Down Sports and subscribe. Again, I'm part of the team, official member part of the team, so I will be there on Fridays talking basketball with everyone, and they have great perspectives. We have amazing conversations. I have so much fun just being a part of the space and bringing my side to the party. And yeah, maybe it was because he was just excited. I'm standing on it. All right, Steph, it was because you were excited, right? You were excited to be up 3-0. But yeah. I appreciate y'all. This was a great show. Great energy. Like JT said, amazing conversations in the chat. If you haven't already, make sure you drop a like. And thank you all so much for your support on this journey. For the day ones that been with me up until this point, y'all really are the foundation, and I appreciate you. And you're the reason why I've made it this far, honestly. It's because of your love and consistency as well. So thank you so much. And all the new people that are here, thanks for being respectful. Continue to be respectful. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what's going to come. Every time I get a notification, every time I watch a game, make sure you tune in tonight on the League Pass, WNBA, 10 p.m., Sparks versus Dallas Wings. Sparks versus the Dallas Wings. Paige Beckers versus how about we say Rakia Jackson in the LA Sparks, huh? We'll say that. As always, just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you all soon.